Hi everyone and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Rosanna and today we're going to be making whole wheat bread. This recipe has very few ingredients and as mentioned before, you just need to perfect the technique. Once you have that down, it'll be a breeze and you will be enjoying freshly made bread from your own kitchen. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, I would like to invite you to subscribe, like and share this video, and do not forget to click the notification bell so that every single time I upload a new recipe, you are notified. And for everybody that's already joined, thank you so much. Okay, let's get started. We are going to be using 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk for this recipe. Ever since I learned how to make my own, I don't buy it anymore. Let me show you how I make it. Measure out 3/4 of a cup minus 2 teaspoons of room temperature whole milk. Then add 2 teaspoons of white vinegar or lemon juice to the milk, which will give us the exact amount we need. Give it a mix. You will see it start to curdle. Set aside until we need it. Now for the yeast. Add 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast and a pinch of brown sugar to half a cup of warm water that's between 105 and 110 degrees. If under 105, the yeast will not activate. If over 110, you will kill it. Whisk and set aside until foamy. It will take about 5 to 10 minutes. Next, to your mixing bowl, add the 3/4 of a cup of buttermilk, 1 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour, an 1/8 of a cup of vegetable oil, 1½ teaspoon of salt, and finally an 1/8 of a cup of honey. Mix on medium-low with a paddle attachment for about 1 minute. We want to get to the point where everything is well incorporated and smooth. Once smooth, stop the mixer. This is how the yeast is supposed to look. Now pour the yeast plus 1 cup of all-purpose flour into the mixer and continue mixing on medium-low for about a minute. Once everything looks well incorporated, start adding 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour in small amounts. By the way, the full recipe will be down in the description area. Lastly, add the remainder 1/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon at a time as needed. We will stop when the dough starts unattaching from the sides. And it looks like we are there. I still have 1 tablespoon left of flour, but I'll wait to see if it needs it. Change the paddle attachment to the hook attachment and let it knead for 5 minutes on medium-low speed until smooth and elastic. It still looks sticky to me, so I'll go ahead and add the last tablespoon of all-purpose flour. After a minute or so, the dough should not be sticking to the sides or the bottom. If your dough is not unattaching and it still sticks, you can add additional all-purpose flour 1 tablespoon at a time until you achieve the right consistency. You should not be too far off. The end result should feel smooth and lightly sticky when pressed. Okay, so we're done with the dough. Butter a deep bowl and set aside. Transfer the dough into a lightly floured surface area and mold it into a ball by slightly applying pressure while you rotate and tug under. Next, place in the bowl and turn to coat in the butter. This will prevent anything from sticking and the dough from drying out. Cover with a kitchen towel and let it proof until doubled in size. The time will depend on the temperature of the room. If warm, it could take about 45 to 50 minutes, and if the area is cold, it could take longer. Just be patient. The dough has doubled in size and is ready for the next stage. Flour your working area with as little as possible. We don't want to keep adding flour to the dough or have it get in the way when molding. The less flour, the better. Pat the dough into a long rectangle. If proofed correctly, it will not be resistant. Take the top portion and fold it down 2/3 of the way. Pat to make sure both sides adhere to each other. Now take the lower portion and fold upward until it reaches the end, where we will tug and pinch in order to create a seam. Turn up so the seam is on top and not the side. Pat gently again to make sure everything is coming together beautifully. Fold both ends and also pinch to seal them. Once done molding, flip over into the sprayed 9x5 loaf pan so the seam lands on the bottom and the top is smooth. Cover with a well-sprayed piece of plastic wrap. The spray will prevent anything from sticking. Place in a warm area for the final proof. As mentioned before, the time will depend on the temperature of the room. We want the dough to double in size. Mine usually takes about an hour to an hour and 10 minutes. Once your dough reaches the right size, don't be tempted to let it rise longer. When doubled in size and you see it crowning over the rim of the mold, remove the plastic wrap carefully and bake at 375 degrees for about 25 to 27 minutes or until golden brown and the inside temperature reaches 190 degrees. When the bread is ready, place on a cooling rack and immediately remove from the mold to prevent the bottom from steaming. Be careful and ensure you are well protected so you don't get burnt. It is still hot. If desired, take some soft butter and brush over the top and allow it to melt while we achieve a glossy top. Or if you rather have a firm crust, you can leave as it is. At this point, let it cool completely on a rack to make sure there's no steam trapped that can soften the bottom of the bread. Once cooled completely, it's time to enjoy. Let me show you how the inside looks. It's dreamy. This bread is fluffy and nutty. The buttermilk makes it tender and the honey gives it the perfect amount of sweetness and flavor. Okay, we reached the end. I hope you enjoyed this recipe with friends and family. Don't forget you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day.